is undergoing rapid change and development in almost every sector. Advances in communication, the economy, and society itself are altering the needs of employers. One important change is being an increased need for people skilled in the field of administrating, managing, and developing organizations. Faculty of Management Science, Prince of Songkhla University was founded in 1974 to produce employable graduates with qualifications and abilities to meet the requirements of the dynamic job market. For more than 4 decades, the Faculty of Management Science has produced graduates in administrative management and accounting. It was the first educational institution in the south of Thailand which offered training in the area. The faculty's core values are summarized with the acronym of PRIDE, standing for the requirements of professionalism,
Assistant Professor Chirawat Hangsapurt, keynote speakers, commentators, distinguished guests, International Partner University, research students, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome you all to the second International Research Symposium. I am Solocha Sinplani.
And Sutapat Chakri will serve as the MC of the day. In just a moment, it's gonna be an opening ceremony of the second International Research Symposium in the theme of a new way of connection. This symposium created an opportunity for research students to present their work and exchange their research findings. In addition, you will be able to hear useful information from keynote speaker and hear some feedback from professor after each research presentation.
And now it's the right time to begin the opening ceremony. I would like to ask everyone to participate in the opening ceremony of the second International Research Symposium on these occasions. May we invite Assistant Professor Kunwadi Rim Usanno, Associate Dean for Research and Academic Service, to give a reporting speech to the Dean of Faculty of Management Science.
Assistant Professor Thirawat Hangsapryuk, International Partner Universities, distinguished guests, research students, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the organization committee, we wish to extend our warm welcome and thank you to all presenters, commentators and participants to this, the second International Research Symposium with a concept of a new way of connection. This symposium is a collaboration among Faculty of Management Science, Prince of Songkla University, University of Novi Sad from Serbia, Voronezh State University from Russia, and University Uttara from Malaysia. This symposium is the academic platform which encourages business students to present their academic papers, exchange ideas, and hear feedback from professors in the field. The second International Research Symposium aims to provide research students with platform to practice and experiment with research and project presentations. Students will be encouraged to receive feedback from professors to improve their research skills. Additionally, this symposium has fulfilled our faculty's mission to producing graduates with 21st century skills and developing student potential to become global citizens. Today we have about 250 students joining with symposium. We have 70 papers to total with 70 oral presentations and 16 research poster presentations. In addition, there are participants from European countries participate in this symposium. Distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, to begin with, I would like to invite Assistant Professor Thirawat Hangsapryuk, Dean of the Faculty of Management Science, to deliver his warm welcome speech. Thank you very much.
We would like to thank Assistant Professor Kunwadi Lim Usanno, Associate Dean for Research and Academic Service, for giving a reporting speech. Next, we would like to invite Assistant Professor Thirawat Hangsapryuk, Dean of Faculty of Management Science, for giving the opening remark for the second International Research Symposium.
Distinguished guests, international partner universities, research students, ladies and gentlemen, I am very pleased to give the opening remark to the occasion of the second International Research Symposium hosted by Faculty of Management Science, Prince of Songkla University, Thailand. This virtual symposium is one of the best platforms for researchers from different parts of the world to present and share their research findings. Additionally, this is truly an important occasion for our professors and students from Faculty of Management Science, Prince of Songkla University, together with our international partner universities, University of Novi Sad from Serbia, Voronezh State University from Russia, and University Uttara from Malaysia, to join this symposium as supporting partners. I do believe that this event will yield more enhancements to the academic collaboration among our university network sustainability. I believe you all will be able to present your research and receive useful feedback from respective professors to improve, contribute a new knowledge, create a positive impact toward local, national, and international community as a whole. Finally, I wish to take this opportunity to open the second International Research Symposium, and I wish all presenters, commentators, and participants a fruitful symposium. Thank you.
We would like to thank Assistant Professor Chirawat Hangsupruk, Dean of Faculty of Management Science, in giving us the opening remark. Next, there will be a special lecture by our keynote speaker, an expert in doing research, Dr. Alexander Bodilikins from Faculty Economics, Verona State University, in the topic of New Strategy, Thinking in the Time of Global Economic Challenges. Dr. Alexander Bodilikins, please.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alexander Bolderikin. Thank you very much for inviting me to present a keynote speech for the opening session today for our research symposium, the second International Research Symposium. And let me first of all express the warmest welcome and greetings from our Department Dean of International Relations Department of Orange State University, and also from our Rector of Orange State University. They're really happy and they're really positive about the fact that we have actually found the opportunity in these uncertain times to actually conduct a symposium online, and that we actually got together today to discuss very important issues that are here today, and they have been there for a while already, that are connected with the recent developments in business. And thank you everybody, of course, for taking part in this event, because I think it will be also important, not only for you, but also for us, for lecturers and professors, because we are here to share opinions. And opinions do matter, because as a result, I think the truth comes out. Finally, what I have to say as the opening speech now, I'll try to be short. I was in Austria when this pandemic started. It was the end of February, basically. And in the end of March, everybody went to a quarantine, and so that was a total lockdown in all Europe. And I was really witnessing myself how everything changes in business environment, and how the thinking changes, and how small businesses are collapsing, and how other businesses are striving for survival, despite the great support that was provided by the European Commission and the other states of European Union. So that was also a very, very hard time for all businesses. That was a time of rethinking. That was a time of reimagining and reinventing the business strategies and business models. And that actually one of the facts that bring us here today, because we want to know and we want to find out what we're going to do in this new and unpredicted environment, because as it turns out, it doesn't stop. Because everybody was hoping that these uncertain times would be somehow ending, hopefully, but they didn't. We're also experiencing lockdowns, we're experiencing collapses of businesses, we are experiencing rethinking and reimagining of strategies and business development. And this is why we are actually here today. Because as it turns out, there's a lot of new things coming here to our minds, and a lot of new thinking comes to the strategic management. And there is an opinion today that general and classic strategic management would not work anymore in this new environment, because it doesn't fit, because the new environment is so unpredictable, it's so unstable, and it's so constantly changing that we could not actually apply the existing models of strategic management and strategic planning to the business today, because it doesn't make sense. And it would be very, very interesting today to find out what is your opinion about what's going on today in business. How do we develop tourism? How do we develop hotels and restaurants? How do we develop IT? How do we develop everything? How do we change the lives? How do we adapt the strategic approaches so that the business can actually survive? Because the main goal of any business is, from the one side, is to make money, and from the other side is to satisfy the demand of the customers, and that has to be going together. So we have to be satisfying our clients, and we have to be also making money to survive, because if we don't make money, the business goes up. And And in this new environment that we are facing today, it's really a big challenge. Because as I said, the classic concepts that don't work. And it puts a big question mark to all the concepts that we have known about risk management, about changes management, about crisis management, because nowadays everything is just changing. And when you look into the textbook that was, let's say, published 5 or 4 years ago, the majority of concepts, they just become outdated so fast that you cannot imagine how would you work in that environment that would be changing in the next maybe 6 or 7 months. We don't know what happens. And today I'm really happy that we have gathered all together here online in our online session. I'm really looking forward to your speeches, to your presentations, to your questions and answers, and which is most important to me personally, to the discussions. Because we would be more focused on discussing the processes that are going on today. And hopefully we'll find out some solutions that we can probably introduce into the general life or business life. And I'm really encouraging you to be active, to take active part in all sessions, and to ask questions, to answer questions, and to be proactive, because I think it's also a good opportunity for you to express and share your opinions. So to conclude, I'm wishing you all pleasant work, a very productive day, and see you soon. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alexander Bodilikins. It was a really wonderful speech. Dr. Alexander Bodilikins has given us a new business thinking strategy during this pandemic and makes us realize that the classic business strategy may not be working anymore during this challenging time. Alright, the activity in this room have now ended. As the representative of this symposium, we would like to give a big thanks Assistant Professor Thirawat Hangsupruk, Dean of Faculty of Management Science again, in being our chairman for the second International Research Symposium this year.
Next, there will be the research presentation, which will be separated into different breakout rooms, especially for MICE and tourism breakout room. We have an honor to welcome another keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Miroslav Divijisu, Associate Professor, and Professor Dr. Yujesu Stankov, Full Professor from University of Novi Sad, Serbia, in the topic of alternative strategy for building resilience in post-pandemic tourism and event industry.
Before everyone join the breakout room, I would like to address again that you have any question or need anything, please feel free to ask our staff in each breakout session.
I hope that today everyone will be able to fully demonstrate the potential and receive suggestions that are useful for further research development. I would like to encourage everyone today to do your best.
At this moment, you all will be separated into breakout room. I am Sulocha Sinpani.
I am Sutta Pachakri. Hope you all will have fun and learn new things from the second International Research Symposium. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, commentators, presenters, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Salosha Sinplani.
And my name is Sutta Pachakri. Before we all proceed to research presentation, we have an honor to welcome another keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Miroslav Divijisu, Associate Professor, and Professor Dr. Jutesa Stanko, Full Professor from University of Novi Sad, Serbia. Both professors will be presenting in the topic of alternative strategy for building resilience in post-pandemic tourism and event industry.
Novi Sad. We are happy to participate at second International Scientific Symposium. Due to this pandemic situation, we're not able to participate physically, and through these digital solutions, we will give you our brief presentation. My name is Miroslav Vujicic. I'm Associate Professor at Faculty of Sciences, and beside me is Uglješa Stankov, also full professor at University of Novi Sad. He will be counting time to start, so we'll try to fit in these 10 minutes and give you our brief insights. Our presentation will be about innovative strategies for post-pandemic tourism, and we will talk about two approaches, as event sector was largely affected by this COVID situation, and Uglješa will give a presentation on digital technologies as one of the possible solutions to post-pandemic resilience. The Novi Sad, our city, is having title European Capital of Culture 2021, and this is a prestige title which is awarded to European cities. How prestige is? Well, Liverpool, for example, invested 1 billion euros to this project implementation. The competition is high, and preparation for the ICCO candidacy started in 2011, and it was a bumpy road, and it lasted until October 2016, when the title was awarded to our city. This is the first ICCO in Serbia. We are sharing the title with Timisoara in Romania and Ulysses or Elefsin in Greece. This is near the Athens, city near Athens. And this is declared as a project of national importance, supported by all levels of government. So their mantra or motto for this project is 4 new bridges. 2017, it was named Hope Bridge, and it was towards the public spaces and capacity buildings. I will talk a little bit more about this. 2018 was a New Way Bridge, as 2018 was a year of cultural heritage all across Europe. So this bridge was aimed at cultural heritage and hospitality. 2019 was the Freedom Bridge. It aims of creative industries and young people, mobility of young people. And 2020, the Rainbow Bridge is about reconciliation and migrations. So vision is about people, places, processes, and programs, the 4P. New beginning now. This is just a picture about a program, about the bridges I was mentioning about. So it's a complex project. So the people started with the education or capacity building of the team within the Novi Sad 2021. Also, it consists out of artists in residence. This is a large project about the mobility, international mobility of different artists. Also, job shadowing, lab for European project making. This is a project between 3 European capitals of culture, the Timisoara, Elefsin, and Novi Sad, which was aimed at project management, the capacity building in the field of project management. Places. There's a lot of infrastructural development within the city. So there are several cultural stations which emerge on the suburban parts of the city. And it's Echek, Culture for Families and Seniors, Silk Factory, this is the contemporary alternative artistic forms, and Klisa and Nova Naselje, which are currently being built, and also the old industrial ground, the old factory, is being transformed into youth creative polis. Also, music and ballet school with concert hall is being built, and other infrastructural measures. Processes, it's aimed at participation, strategic planning, implementing EU models, and other. We have heritage walks, really interesting project, and also the need for decentralization of culture. This is something we concluded through our research, which I will be talking a little bit further in the presentation. Program more than 500 new projects in the city. A lot of events happening in the city. At the end, we will give you a brief after movie of the New Year's Eve, the presentation of New Year's Eve. I will talk a little bit now about impact evaluation. This is the model we developed. It consists out of three main dimensions. It's culture, economy, and community, which is further divided into subcategories such as cultural participation, cultural capacities, program quality, audience development, economies, tourism, culture and creative industries, and so on. How complex it is, I will show you on the next slide. So it goes in other subcategories. Here, for example, community, we have social cohesion, social capital, and networking, which is being derived into more and more subcategories. We conducted a lot of surveys for all of these dimensions, trying to quantify the impact. And how we did it? Well, if you're talking about the decision-making process and impact evaluation, there are a lot of subjective opinions. So our main target groups were the experts, the visitors of the events, and other target groups. So the classical aggregation operators like arithmetic mean, maximum and minimum, or geometric mean are not so suitable and are too rigid to conduct the impact evaluation. So we employ Shuket in Integral for these purposes. And this is just a brief presentation on how the calculus looks like. So it's conducted a lot of calculation, and at the end we got the quantification of the ECOC index for 2018 and 2019, and we're going to conduct a longitudinal research for 2018. It's 6.33, and for the 2019 it's 6.75. So I will pass the floor. So I already passed my time. So I will pass the floor to my colleague Uglješa Stanko to talk about digital technologies.
Thank you, Miroslav. Hi, everybody. My name is Uglješa, and I will talk about our second strategy, or our second approach to post-pandemic tourism. As you all know, technology is now used in such a way that it could help resolve all issues that COVID brought to the world. But we always forget the negative or controversial nature of the technology use. So I will talk a little bit about the negative sides of technology use. It can be information overload. It can be even choice overload. It can be the co-destruction of value that we create as consumers. Then it can be dehumanization of experiences, and consequently it can be techno stress as I said, as a consequence of all that technology. And if you know, gaming addiction is even officially recognized as a mental health disorder by the World Health Organization. So the society starts to wake up, and there is a National Day of Unplugging. There is a time well spent movement, and maybe you have heard the Social Dilemma, the movie on Netflix that talks about the negative sides of technology. And there is a new paradigm in academia or in practical development of technology that is called digital well-being, that looks after personal health, safety, relationships, and so on. So one of the solutions for this kind of problem is technology. It may be paradoxical, but actually technology, if it's used in a right way, could help us in let's say, resolving some negative effects. So this concept of calm technology rests in the idea that technology should be put behind our lives, and implying that it has no purpose on its own, but it should serve in delivering a desired experience instead. So these two guys actually created this concept, and they divided technology into pleasant and calm and disturbing based on how technology engage with our central and peripheral attention. So we should not mix calm and calming technology. Calm technology is attention and focus-based approach, while calming technologies are devices that actively calm us as a users. So, for example, it could be a fitness tracker. So Amber Case is a scientist who revived calm technology in this new era, and she divided technology into elegant, humane, and unobtrusive. So this is the main model how technology should interact with our attention. We can divide our attention into primary, secondary, and tertiary, and based on the all level of interactions, we could let's say decide if technology is calm or it is not calm. So here are some examples of calm technology. It could be geofence smart applications, it could be smart posters, it could be RFID bracelets, it could be biometric security systems, or it could be, very interesting for me, prototype or airport virtual aquarium, where you just go through this aquarium, so-called aquarium, and you don't have to do anything. So when technology is invisible, we call it calm. And one great example is this little device that is used for private on-site evaluation with a tactile feedback, so you don't have to deal with screens and other inputs to the system. And my favorite is MUI. It's let's say a speaker, smart speaker that is made from wood. So it's an example of mindful technology design and calm technology. So with this presentation, I just wanted to stress out the negative aspect of technology and how people engage with technology. And we should always ask ourselves, is this the right behavior? You can look at this picture, or this is actually what we want. So if you want to learn more about calm technology, you can read these articles. One is Calm Technology Design in Hotels, and the other one is Reviving Calm Technology in E-Tourism. So thank you for your attention. And now Miroslav will say a couple of closing words.
Thank you, Ilesha, for a brief presentation. It was quick. We tried to fit into the time frame, the given time frame. So we want also to invite you to our conference. It's a conference in Serbia 2021, and it's gonna gather a lot of academicians dealing with, for example, impact measurement and around events, cultural tourism, and other aspects and forms of the tourism. We will close this presentation with a nice movie, after movie of the New Year's celebration for Novi Sad, European Capital of Culture. Thank you so much for your attention.
Divijisu, Associate Professor. Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Miroslav Divijisu, Associate Professor, and Professor Dr. Yudhesa Stanko, Full Professor, for your presentation.
It was a very educational presentation about the innovation
We are happy to participate at second with a nice movie after movie of the New Year's celebration for Novi Sad, European Capital of Culture. Thank you so much for your attention.
Dr. Miroslav Divijisu, Associate Professor, and Professor Dr. Yudesa Stanko, Full Professor, for your presentation.
It was a very educational presentation about the innovative strategy, the post-pandemic tourism. The professor also told us about the impact innovation methods, and we have also learned about CAM technologies and approach to the post-pandemic strategies.
Next, there will be research presentation session. I hope you all enjoy and have fun presentation today. Thank you so much.
Greetings from Novi Sad. We are happy to
Hi, Alexander, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Right, okay, so it'll be me, the two of us in this room together. And as Ajahn Nana mentioned earlier, you'll pretty much be the main commentator, and I'll add in every now and again. The students really wanna hear your feedback. So so without further ado, we will start very soon.
Perfect.
Our professor and students, I would like to welcome you here today. My name is Rikor Prinjasili. I'm a third year student of MICE program. It is honored to be the MC today. This year, our symposium consists of a new way of combined with platform to practice and experiment with research and project presentations, including oral and poster presentations. You will get feedback on your work from professor to improve your research skills. Let us start by introducing our commentators for today. The first commentator is Dr. Alexander Bodilikin from Voronezh State University, Russia. The second commentator is Mr. Arno T. Emmerman from Prince of Songkla University, Thailand. Your time next. I would like to inform you some of the important rule of the oral presentation. Rule number 1. I will call you according to the presentation order as you already assigned. Each presenter will have 10 minutes to present. There will be a signal with a bell when there are 3 minutes left for the presentation. Rule number 2. When the time is up, our staff will ring a bell. Presenters must stop immediately unless the commentators allow you to continue. Rule number 3. After the presentation, there will be Q&A session from the commentators. There are 5-minute Q&A session for each presentation. The last rule during the presentation, let all of us listen and stay silent. Please vibrate your phone and give our presenters our full attention. May I invite the first group to present in the topic of consumer behavior decision making on food delivery service in Songkla. Are you ready?
Turn on your mic.
Yes.
All right, you can start now.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, Professor and everyone. It's my pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to you all. Today, I want to talk about my research, consumer behavior decision making on food delivery service in Songkla. There are 3 members in the group. My name is Siriya Poratana Ulai.
My name is Paradi Panalong, and the last member group, Dara Rachum Sawat.
To start with, I will describe introduction. Today's society, the internet has become more and more active in everyday life, making our world today become the online world. People live life in a hurry and want convenience. Life progresses along with the use of mobile phones. It is like an additional organ coming in life. Everything can be possible with the fingertips, or it can be said that the internet has created various things. Many things has happened at the same time in the world of the internet. Was quickly accessible to the general public for the convenience of the internet in Thailand. Objective: to access the consumer satisfaction level towards decision-making food delivery service in Songkla.
Literature review. When the internet was born, nobody has expected it to become a network that plays a role in today's human life. But the internet has become a part of our daily life. We can find news about the internet through newspaper, journal, radio programs, and many news sources all over the world. Today, many businesses are starting to adapt and develop this technology for their own organizations. And factor that continue to grow food ordering app is because of nothing but 10 years ago until now. Sign more and more new threads to your door. Food delivery applications and emerging is cause change in consumer behavior as well. Food delivery chain point is important to the city people in the matter of eating. Research model delivery. In an e-commerce environment, delivery time plays a key role in customer satisfaction and retention. Delays in delivery beyond normal time is viewed as will affect customer satisfaction. Customer service. Using the order effect theory confirmed that service would be influenced from the order of service confrontation. In fact, applications that are poorly rated for customer service are the least likely to be purchased again, reflecting the state of dissatisfaction with their customer. Food quality, particular ways such as freshness, healthy food presentation, also the price and quality of the foods must be coupled with quality and service which affect customer satisfaction. Therefore, the food delivery application, the quality of food should be considered as one of the key. All three elements above affect to service quality. Service quality is essential to customer satisfaction. It is the presence of the product or service. Therefore, an effective tool for assessing service quality is invaluable for companies that have income or part from the service. By the service quality will result in the user. Customer satisfaction. Customer expectation with the service of the restaurant, where the customer receive positive feedback from a measurable rating scale, such as a website rating pressing the star for service. There was always a need for exposure, which was both praise and criticism. That come from the customer not only to maintain the old customer base, but still make all customers come to use the service more. With all of the above is an element that will affect to user loyalty. Loyalty is in the confidence the customer who wants the product, where the customer will feel in confidence and trust in the order. They will feel that can respond to what they want and can bring about the feeling of satisfaction, result of wanting to buy products repeatedly and continuously.
Methodology, Area Scope, Songkhla, Thailand. Population, 3.2 million consumer delivery in Thailand. This research is a quantitative research which is a guideline to test the openness of each operator. Study the mechanism of the food ordering regulator in Songkhla province. Then the results were studied. Sample 384 users of online food application service. This is a reference to all of presentations. Thank you all for listening. I will be happy to answer your question now.
All right, thank you very much. Is it okay? Is it okay if I start talking now? Because
thank you.
I was waiting for permission. Is that okay? Okay, fine. Okay, thank you very much. First of all, for that short and focused presentation. I really appreciate the work that you have conducted, because I know it's a lot. I know how much stress does it take. So I'm not going to be very strict, but I want to be a little bit more specific about. The thing is that first of all, it's about design. In the first two slides, I think it's better to use the bullet format, like 1, 2, 3. That's just the details, but it's better for the audience to make a better perception of that. I would also like to add something about maybe, I don't know, maybe you have that in your research, about the added value and added advantage
the food and maybe of delivery service that are now on the agenda, because as it turns out in the recent research, let's say in Russia, for instance, I don't know what's the situation in Thailand now, but in Russia, about 35% of customers, they would be considering buying food from shops. I mean, it could be offline shops, it could be online shops. They would be considering buying food with a discount or some preferences offered. They would want more than just shopping. They want something extra. They want the seller to go the extra mile for them. And they ask the question, what do you guys have to offer to me? Because we have lots of online shops and we have like 5 grocery stores in the block. So why do I choose you? What discount can you offer me, and what added value can I benefit from? So I think that could be also an interesting point of research. Maybe you have that. I don't know. If you have that, please, you can add 2 or 3 words about this. And I'm very happy that you have included the methodology slide. I don't know. Maybe it's due to the time limit that we don't have much opportunity to talk about it in detail, but I think that in next research, in your next presentation, that would be good that if we will be talking about the methodology a little bit. But I liked it that you mentioned that, because as it turns out, let's say from some of my students, they sometimes miss that part, and we have a lot of questions discussing that. But in general, I think that's a very, very good and a very focused presentation, guys. Good job. Thank you very much. If anybody else has to add something, please feel free.
Thank you.
I don't know. Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything that that Alexander mentioned. In terms of the first few slides with all the information on, I think bullet points is definitely the better way to go, because the audience doesn't need to read the whole paragraph on a slide. So maybe next time just use bullet points rather than having a full paragraph on your slide. Other than that, I agree with what Alexander said. Added value is definitely something that is offered in Thailand in terms of discounts through food delivery service. So you can definitely add it to the research. If you see through Grab and Food Panda, they have these discounts, right? 70 baht, 80 baht off vouchers and so on. So that might be something that you can incorporate as well. So yeah, but other than that, I thought you did a very good job. So well done. Good work.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The next presentation will be about the motivation of dark tourism for business travelers. Case study, Southern Thailand, please.
Dark tourism. Interesting.
The motivation of dark tourism for business travelers. Case study, Southern Thailand. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, you can start now.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Thanaporn Kuskun. In my presentation today, I'm going to explain about the motivation of dark tourism for business travelers. Case study Southern Thailand. To start with, I will describe introduction. Thailand is suitable as a tourist destination because Thailand has valuable tourism resources. There are many forms of tourism trends currently occurring. Some groups require new forms of tourism. They can answer the doubt, new knowledge, get experience, and in-school participation in important historical events. There is a form of tourism that can meet the needs of this group of tourists with the dark tourism. The tourism model in Thailand is very interesting. It's able to enhance new travel experience for tourists and will as business travelers. Business travelers want to create new experience from tourism. The question group interested in studying the motivation of dark tourism among business travelers to ask new target group in this type of tourism to be known even more and having selected dark attractions in the southern of Thailand. Let's move on to the objective. To examine the motivation of business travelers towards dark tourism in southern Thailand. Literature reviews. A tour to claim the hotspots of someone until some people have to call these tourisms at black tourism or cedar tourism. Tourist is the group are popular to visit. A place full of gift because of an accident and natural disaster, murder or terrorist attacks. Go to the reorder. It returns the events of popularity of tourism. Tourist sites that have learned more and more from large disaster and that have created research and institutionalizations. Now I will hand over to Vishda Udongpichala. Thank you, Ms. Chanapon. We're still talking about literature review. The tourists travel to create something new that benefit or keep story to sharpen the mind that get themselves better when they feel part there. They will see relationship between things around them. Next slide. Business traveler would mean focus on business activity and at the same time having leisure as well, which income from this group traveler is very high. In addition, a survey found that convenient and easy is still the thing that a business traveler think the most due to the time limitation. But this group also want to create new experience from tourism. Next point is methodology. Population and sample size. A number of my travelers in southern Thailand from January to December 2019 was 162,973 persons. We used the formula of Clichy and Morgan Diori to find the size symbol. Procedure pattern, descriptive research, quantitative research, applied research, and deductive research. And instrument is a questionnaire in Thai and English for business traveler. And for the research model, from the study of both the theory of motivation of dark tourism model and the tourism behavior of business travelers, the researcher divided the motivation factor of business traveler into two main factors, which are environment attitude. It about tourist attraction, where lessons are learned from loss, accident, and mortality, which show the interest of the place, divided into two items, including heritage and history, and psychological benefit. It about tourism behavior of business traveler, divided into two items, including curiosity and remembrance. And this is reference our research. Thank you all for listening. It was a pleasure being here today.
Thank you very much. That was really interesting because I don't think that many of my students have ever touched upon the topic of dark tourism. However, in my country, we have just a lot of places for dark tourism, and I think it's a kind of very good idea for research, especially when you focus on business people, because it's somehow unusual concept for a business person, I think, in my country. But I think in Thailand, that's a very good research. Commenting on the presentation, I think in the first slide it was a little bit, you might probably want to use a larger font because it's really difficult to read that. If let's say if you're sitting in the back row, it's really difficult to read that, and especially the sources. I think you might want to use also bullet points and press enter after every bullet point, like just the previous presenters did. I think it's the same thing about design. Second is preferably if you talk about introduction, just don't try to place a lot of plain text. Just be short, because you don't have to read that in the presentation. I mean, it's just a visualization, not just plain text. And well, in the slide when you were talking about psychological benefits like curiosity and remembrance, I think that would be also interesting to add the fact about, because we're talking about dark tourism, there are some dark emotions that psychologically people somehow like to provoke in themselves. Maybe it's the stress factor. I mean, it's the stress that somehow makes you scared a bit, or makes you a little bit nervous in different way, like not like business makes you nervous, but nervous in a very different context. Maybe it would be interesting also to find out how many people really want to experience a certain kind of stress when traveling to the dark tourism sites. Also, I think methodology is a strong part of your design, and I think from my side, the comments are done. If anybody else wants to add something, just please do that. And otherwise, I think it was a very good presentation, a lot of work, and I think it's a very perspective one from the applied point of view, because as I said, it's a kind of unusual for us, at least, approach for tourism. So I wish you good luck in this research. It's a very applied one. Thanks.
You know, I completely agree. It's quite unusual. I mean, before today, I don't think I've actually ever heard of dark tourism, to be completely honest. I had to search it. I had to search and find out what it was just now. I had an idea. I'm assumed it was something to do with the dead and so forth, but it's definitely an unusual topic, an interesting one, something new, I would say, quite creative. Something, I think it's also something that you would, it will contribute something different towards the research. I think in a country such as Thailand, definitely an area worth exploring because of the connotation that they place towards the dead and so forth. So it's yeah, in terms of that, it's very, very interesting. The type of traveler, business traveler, would we focus on that, and on that sample, on that type of person, or might you choose a different type of traveler? Or business travelers really going to be that interested in dark tourism? That's something that we can think about maybe. But other than that, yeah, the first two slides with all the information on, you should remember the audience doesn't like reading. As an audience, you don't want to read and listen at the same time. You want to do one of the two, yeah? So bullet points would be a better way to go, rather than not have such big paragraphs, because we want to listen to you. We don't want to read the slides that much. Yes, we just want to see one or two keywords on the slides, and then we want you to tell us. Okay, if you read off the slides, it defeats the purpose of the presentation. Yes. So so yeah. Other than that, very interesting topic. Very interesting topic, and I hope the best for you as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The next presentation will be about Songkhla travelers' behavior and motivation patterns in Thailand. Please, are you ready? Please turn on
Yes.
the microphone, please.
Yes.
All right, you can start now.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dongathai. And my name is Saranya Yeltin. We are pleased to be here today to talk to you about Songkhla Gen Z traveler behavior and motivation pattern in Thailand. Firstly, I will start with introduction. The tourism industry is one of key forces in driving Thailand economy and can generate huge revenue even in the global recession. Songkhla is the third largest area in the south, divided into 16 districts, and the second largest population in the south, with a population of around 1,400,000 people, with the majority of the population aged 15 to 59, representing 65%, and Gen Z is part of this age range. Gen Z is a popular tourism destination, with 90% of people believing that the experience is important for life, so they are not afraid to travel the world. This group for people like to find people who are similar to him and have the same interests. So researchers are interested in studying the behavioral pattern and motive of Songkhla tourism Gen Z. And researchers object to access Songkhla Gen Z traveler behavior and motivation pattern in Thailand. Next is literature review. วนิดา เลิศพิพัฒนานนท์ in 2018 study have to show that Gen Y is the majority of the people who are habitual in managing their own travel plans, love both domestic and international tourism. 1 to 3 people travel once a year, and 1 to 3 people are in the family. Each trip is 3 days and 2 nights, and each trip costs 1,000 to 3,000 baht per person, and the attraction by private car. The most popular attraction are natural attraction. Reservation will be made through the service website.
Research model, conceptual model of Songkhla Gen Z traveler behavior and motivation pattern in Thailand. กิจกรรมเพิ่มพูนวิวัฒน์ and จารุจิตติพันธ์ 2011. The research model had two motivation, internal motivation and external motivation. With internal motivation are physical and mental, new experience and new social life, culture exploration, soft value of belief and healthy life. External motivation are soft value of family and peers, convince to travel, government supporting and tourism organization supporting, interest attraction. All of the factors resulted in traveler motivation factor and resulted in traveler behavior. Methodology. This research is quantitative research methodology. In the research model, exploratory collected primary data using questionnaires from the Songkhla Gen Z tourist group to study tourism behavior pattern in Thailand. The sample to be used in the study were Gen Z, totaling 400 people. The survey is divided into two channels, online and offline, where offline survey have 7 locations. 1. Faculty of Management Science, 80 people. 2. Faculty of Liberal Arts, 50 people. 3. Longchang Food Court, 50 people. 4. Kasset Free Market Faculty of Natural Resources, 30 people. 5. PSU Vidyanuson School, 20 people. 6. หาดใหญ่วิทยาลัย School, 20 people. 7. หาดใหญ่วิทยาลัยสมบูรณ์กุลกัญญา School, 20 people. And 8. Online channel, 130 people. Online users Google Form as a machine to create online questionnaires and is published on 3 platforms. 1. Facebook, 70 people. 2. Instagram, 30 people. And 3. Line, 30 people. All inclusive 400 people.
And this is reference. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Thanks for a good research, and I like basically the research model, the conceptual research model that you have introduced, because I think it looks kind of sophisticated enough and scientific enough. That is what also, from my experience, is mostly required from the students that I mostly teach to, because sometimes most of them have some problems in visualizing the research model, and they have a kind of misunderstanding how it should look like. So I think you did a good job in that sense. And it's very interesting for me to find out about the Z generation, because somehow, you know, I'm kind of older than the Z generation, and it's sometimes unclear to me what motivation they have in making these or that decisions. So I think that researchers also has a practical approach. One thing that is important here is that, from what I know, maybe I'm mistaken, but I think it's true that the Z generation is a 100% generation that was born in the online period. So they don't have the opportunity to compare the life, let's say, before internet and after internet, as for instance I can. So those guys were born in a period when internet was already booming. And those guys have a very different mindset. They have different patterns of decision making, and they have different places that they might probably like. uncomparable to what I probably would like, or my professor colleagues would like. And that would be also interesting to find out if you will be able to present those results later on. I think it would be interesting to look at this, because this generation is an online generation, and they use gadgets, they use computers, they use everything that is connected with the digital world constantly, and definitely this affects the places they would go, and this affects the decisions that they make. So I think that's also a very, very applied research. And guys, I'm really happy with the topics that you choose. Basically, from what I heard so far, it's really nice. And I think it's also good with the presentation design. Maybe just a small remark about bullet points, but I think it's just for everybody. So I don't have any more comments. Basically, I just wish you good luck in this. And maybe if it would be possible to look at the research results, I would really love to do that. Thank you.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. I would very much like to see the results of this study. I think the topic that you have is spot on, a really good topic to be researching right now. And what would make it even stronger if you could compare it to the previous generations, right? The motivational factors and how those motivational factors are different from generations as well. I think that will also be very interesting. I also really like your contextual model, the fact that you've got both internal and external motivational factors there. I think the results are going to be extremely interesting and very strong. So as Alexander said, I wish you good luck as well. I think you've got a gem at hand here, and if you can complete this successfully, you'll have some very, very strong research to show, very strong results to show. So well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The next presentation will be about identify the attendee desired in concert during new normal era. Please, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, you can start now.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ayuthaya Simani.
My name is Silima Rashata Sirikun. Music is the important thing in this world. It's like a common language that makes the world completely. No matter what country you are, you can understand music language. Music can clear our minds. The concert is another important thing that helps to improve our mental state. But now, as everyone knows, the COVID-19 situation occurs. With this epidemic situation has a huge impact on artists, that making it impossible to organize the concert. The concert industry has to adapt to survive and meet the needs of the attendees in the new normal era by bringing the digital world into industry and adjustment from offline to online or hybrid concert.
The research purpose is to identify the attendee desire in concert during new normal era. New normal is an adaptive. The situation of COVID-19 is caused a change of lifestyle, change the behavior of people in a society that many people call new normal. There are various measures how to reduce the spread of COVID-19. New normal is an adaptation to find a new way of life that is safe from infection, leading to new invention and new technology. The adaptation to the new normal era concert is an adaptation from offline to online, or a combination of online and offline, providing a completely new experience for the attendee. There are also other variations, for example, using an online music performance system, streaming, organizing private group activity, organizing a social bubble. Concerts in the new normal era have limited attendance and measures such as temperature screening, wearing masks, and washing with alcohol gel, including measures to reduce congestion. Next to the research model, from the study of related research on various decision factors, There are interesting factors involved in choosing to watch the new normal concert, which is a prototype model that is made as follows. Deciding to watch a concert is based on personal factors. In deciding whether it is gender, age, education, income, in which personal factors also have other factors as follows. Motivation is the emotional and reasoning in the decision to watch. Expectation is the expectation of seeing the concert in terms of artist, ticket price, venue, and promotion. Choosing to watch concert in the new normal era, protection section, there are measures for attending offline concert. Online, there is a new format of concerts by using an online music performance system. Another type of concert, such as dine-in concert, that allow viewers to dive into the concert and watch in their own car. Brand image is image of artist or service. Trust, have confidence and trust in organizer to create a perfect and satisfying concert that create brand loyalty. Methodology, scope of research is in Songkhla province, using Kexi and Morgan formula. Population is 850,000 tourists in event in Thailand 2020. Sample size is 400 attendees. The questionnaire used would be a closed-end questionnaire with answer given to respondents to choose from by dividing the content into 5 parts, which are variable 1, personal information, variable 2, motivation, variable 3, expectation, variable 4, new normal, and variable 5 is other question. Today, our world is changing rapidly, make you have to constantly adapt to survive. As with concerts, there must be an adjustment to meet the needs of the attendees. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, guys. That was very interesting and somehow unusual because I have a small follow-up question. Did you attend any online concerts recently? Any online performances yourself?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, sure. Did you attend any online performances recently because of Corona?
In Thailand now, it have a concert now from Corona is GMM online music.
Okay. So as far as I'm concerned, that could be a pretty different experience to a live concert, to a live performance. So I think anyway, the research framework that you have offered, I was trying to find something that would be missing, but I couldn't. So I think that's a pretty comprehensive one. That was good, and it's really interesting to find out how people will be dealing with that, because we will surely have a big decrease now in offline performances. Let's say, if you take, for instance, Moscow, the capital city of Russia. I read a survey recently that we will be celebrating the new year shortly, and the number of company celebrations would be decreasing by 35 or 40%. That is a real disaster for the all arts and performances industry, because people would not be doing that because of Corona. That's a real crash. And I don't think really that many companies, say in Moscow or in Voronezh, my home city, would be offering the online model of corporative holidays and corporative celebration. I mean, they say, okay, we cannot go offline, we cannot do it as usually, so okay, what can we do? That's a good idea. That there is a concept of having an online presentation. And that's a very interesting type of research that you have chosen, and I think that would be also a good solution maybe to introduce here in our life. So from my side, I think the research model is fine, the presentation is fine. Thanks a lot. Any other comments?
Thank you.
It was really easy to listen to them, wasn't it? Like, you presented very well. There was a clear communication in terms of presenting the information that you had, and I thought you did very well in terms of your presentation. It's also a lot easier to follow your slides compared to the previous ones. As Alexander mentioned, I think your research model is spot on. All these variables that you are using are extremely good, extremely strong, and very relevant to the study. So well done. And I think just to add on what Alexander said, COVID didn't hit Thailand the way that it hit a lot of areas in Europe. So right now, I don't think there's going to be that much of a downturn in terms of big celebrations like New Year's and so on. It will go on as usual. Yeah. So it also depends on where we are, I would say. Yeah, they've introduced quite a lot of hybrid conferences and hybrid events when it comes to concerts and so on. And I also think what you could do is you could compare these factors, these motivational or online concerts with offline ones, and see how the two compare with one another. But other than that, great, very good presentation. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. The next presentation will be about identify the factors of decision-making for participation of exhibition of food industry entrepreneur, a case study of Songkla exhibition, please. Please turn off your microphone. Turn on your microphone.
We cannot listen to them.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, thank you. Sawadee krab. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to talk today about my research. Identify the factor of decision-making for participation of exhibition of food industry entrepreneur, a case study of Songkla exhibition.
To start with, I describe introduction. Today, my guests have to prepare plan for changing consumer behavior to keep up with the times, and in order to reach the target audience regardless of the product. It is important to give customers the opportunity to taste, see, touch, and feel confident in the quality of the product. It is one of the marketing activity at many organizations use as a tool to promote product and service, and enable operator to meet with consumer directly. As a result, this market process is widely accepted in a highly competitive industry such as the food industry. In addition, when considering Thailand with the uniqueness in the food industry, it will result in a more successful show. However, with various factors, entrepreneurs have the right to decide to attend the trade fair or not. Therefore, in order to organize a successful trade show, the organizer needs to focus on the factors that affect to this decision of the restaurant operator to attend event. To assess the factor affecting the decision to attend the exhibition of food industry entrepreneur in Songkla province. Scope study. Location is Songkla, Thailand. Time from July 2020 to April 2021. Target group 400 restaurant entrepreneurs.
After that, we'll consider literature review. The exhibition is one of the main industries that play a large role in driving the country's economy and developing the economy, fostering business, social, cultural, academic, and research exchange. With the success of the exhibition depends on the three main stakeholders: professional exhibition organizer, visitor, and exhibitors, where the exhibitors are the most important stakeholders. The theoretical elements of decision to participate in expo of food industry operators are the ban of the expo, venue and facility, operation of professional exhibition organizer worldwide in attending the event, law and policy, image and environment of the city, availability of infrastructure. Methodology, population and simple data collection for the sorry, population and simple for the determination of method by using quantitative research method. The simple group used in this study is 400 restaurant entrepreneurs. Data collection. This research data will be collected by using questionnaire for a sample group of restaurant entrepreneurs using minimum of 364 questionnaires for respondents to fill in the questionnaire. This is research model, independent variable, factor used by entrepreneurs in the food industry in deciding to attend the exhibition, brands, purchase, venue and facilities, image and environment, and value. Dependent variable is sanctification. All of the aforementioned factors are an important part that the organizer needs to focus on to be exact and in accordance with the principle of the event. Hence, for the theory to be true, it is imperative that the entrepreneur or the mediator, as determined by the researcher, decide which factors are the most or least important. It brings results in which the organizer can use key factors to improve and develop marketing practice to attract entrepreneurs to be willing to become to the both and make the exhibition successful. Thank you for your attention. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Okay, thank you very much for this presentation. It's a kind of a very tricky topic, I think, nowadays, because the presentation was very delicious. Thank you. I felt a bit hungry. That's a real tricky thing, because I think today, when everything goes online, this food industry cannot really go online, because it's not a thing that you can actually taste in internet or smell in internet. And if you have a corona, you cannot taste or smell anything. So that's not a challenge. But that's a very interesting practical research, because I think in Thailand the food industry is one of the #1 issues, because of tourists also as well, and you have a very good variety of foods to be offered and to be tried. So the results of the corona influence to the food industry, to the hospitality industry, I think it's just tremendous. And you cannot really do this online. That's the problem. So I think, right?
It's too dependent on the senses, isn't it? The smell
exactly.
and taste, yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry.
So it's that puts a really big challenge to the guys who work in the food industry. How do they actually survive, and how do they keep going? Because let's say if we can watch a concert online, which is, I'd say, okay, we can do that, but it's also a different experience. We cannot taste the food online, and it's very much affected by the virus. But I have a question to the research model. You said something about value. What exactly do you mean by value here? Is it a financial value, or what general sense do you study in this case? Can you go to the previous slide, please?
About value. Just a moment, please.
I mean, yeah. I mean, when you talk about the value, is that a financial output or something different? It's something that you probably mentioned, but I don't know, missed it. Can I go to the previous slide, please?
I need to go to the previous slide. Slide cost. Can you quickly go to the previous slides?
Just switch back a couple of
moment,
slides.
please. Yes, it's a financial value.
Okay, that's a financial output. Okay, so you'll be analyzing something like, let's say the investment and expenses balance, and what you get as a result. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, otherwise, well, I think I don't have any other questions or comments. I think the sources list is okay. The presentation design is okay. It's more graphic design, so that's what mostly required. And I'm glad, guys, that you're going in a very, I would say, in a very European direction in your presentations, in your research designs, because that's somehow very different from what I have experienced so far from international students. So you guys doing a very good job. Thank you.
Yeah, I completely agree with Alexander. I think with the food industry and also in terms of exhibitions in Thailand, it's massive. Yes, so combining the two, it's a very interesting, a very valuable study to do. Right now, with Thailand, with most of the exhibitions still being offline or back to being offline in Thailand, it's that in terms of the online part that you're talking about, it's not necessarily that relevant. But I completely agree with you. Being able to do it, doing it online and doing it offline is very different from one another when we talk about food. But the area of study I think is very interesting, and I think if you go further into it and you derive the results from it, I would very much like to look at that. So thank you very much.
Thank you. ขอบคุณค่ะ Thank you so
Thank you so much. The next presentation will be about the capabilities and readiness of intensive travel 16 districts in Songkhla, please.
Yes, lady.
Lady.
Lady ไม่ใช่ lady ใช่ไหม Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Walanchit Kongyen. And my name is Piradon Anuwong. Today we are here to talk to you about the capability and readiness of incentive travel 16 districts in Songkhla. I'm going to start with introduction. Driving Thailand MICE industry today focus on two types of driving, which is the first being to bring larger or global jobs to organize in Thailand, which will generate income and distribute income to all regions of Thailand. The second level is to try to accelerate the upgrade of Thailand MICE industry to the international standard, and with the determination to support and drive new MICE destination in new area from the Office of Convention and Exhibition Promotion has established the Songkhla Province Convention and Exhibition Promotion Office to be an agency to raise Songkhla Province to be one of the MICE city center. In addition, this researcher was interested in the capability and readiness for incentive travels in Songkhla, which rely on information and variety of venues, accommodations, as well as a range of activity not far from the city, as well as convenient transportation getting to Songkhla, had easy accessibility facility, and as well as a wide variety of public transport within the city, and another thing, two indications. An objective to explore the capability and readiness of incentive travels 16 districts in Songkhla. First literature from Journal of Yala Rajabhat University, a development of my industry potentially in Songkhla Province, Thailand. The result of data verification found that Songkhla Province has potential in my industry. Songkhla still need to develop service standard to meet international standard in order to have potential to support the my industry, because it is a group that emphasizes service quality and has high purchasing power. The second literature from Ratanapan, a student of identity of my city, a case of Songkhla, is what father travel to destination in Hat Yai and Songkhla province. There are many channels to choose with main route and using route for traveling by car, rail, ship, and air. Land travel, there are several national highway, provincial highway, and standard routes connect between all 16 districts in Songkhla province. And as for the journey from the airport to the city, the result of the research show that the transportation system within the province has a variety of public transport and taxi service that serve the area, such as individual taxi, van, or local public transport.
Research model conceptual. We use 10A of successful destination to measure the capability and readiness of incentive travel 16 districts in Songkhla. Include 1. Awareness. Refer to the traveler level of knowledge about the destination. The level of traveler awareness depends on the amount and kind of information they receive. 2. Attractiveness. Refer to the level of appeal of the destination attraction. This attribute will determine whether the destination would work as part of the incentive travel. 3. Availability. Refer to the ease in which booking and reservation can be made for the destination. 4. Accessibility. Refer to the ease and convenience of getting to and from the destination as well as getting around within the destination. 5. Appearance. Refer to the impression that the destination leaves on travelers at our arrival and throughout their stay. If the chosen destination does not make a good impression on the participants, it might demotivate them to participate in the next incentive travel program.
6. Activity refer to the level of a variety of activity available to travelers within the destination. An incentive travel destination should offer a variety of activity for the participant to engage for the trip to be an exciting and memorable experience. 7. Assurance refer to the safety and security level within the destination. Safety and security are extremely important to the participant as the perception of the high risk associated with visiting a destination would dissuade anyone to engage with the incentive program. 8. Appreciation refer to how welcoming the traveler feel at the destination, while the incentive travel program participants might spend their trip completely separate and disengaged from the local. 9. Action refer to the availability of strategic tourism related plan as it will help the incentive travel planner to organize their trip and engage with the local stakeholders. And 10. Accountability refer to the evaluation of the MOS performance and discussed previously. The MOS can be extremely helpful for the incentive travel planner. However, this relationship would only bring positive results if the DMO is performing well.
Methodology. This research used a method to integrate interpretivism that using the qualitative method of education. Population. The population is in this research is consist of the community leader or district leaders, government officer in each district, head of village from the 16 district in Songkhla, Thailand. Sample size. The sample population in the research will be select one leader that most relate to incentive traveler activity in that district. The leader of the 16 district with the following district names will provide researcher with information and detail.
Sample size include เมืองสงขลาเทพารัตภูมิพลเนียงสถิงพระสะบ้าย้อยสะเดาบางกำจะนะละโนดหาดใหญ่สิงหนครนาทวีกระแสสินนาหมองคอหอยโข่ง and all of these are 16 districts of Songkhla, Thailand. And this is the reference we have used.
Thank you for all listening.
Thank you very much for the performance, guys. First of all, I think that that's very common for all the presentations. It's just again and again, you guys all use a lot of text in the presentation. I think we go into that all over and over, and I think that's a very common and typical mistake for all the students, even for my students. When I explain that to them, like every single time they do a presentation, they do the same thing. So you don't have to read from the slide. I mean, the slide is for the public. Slide is for us, but reading from slide is not very professional. So you just use the slides to show the information to us, but not for not for reading from that. But I think that's something to improve for everybody. That's quite common. And just in the first slide, I think you could use also to enlarge the text, reduce the number of text, amount of text. So that's this one is okay, but this one is too much text and too small of a font. It's not so convenient to read that, but that's quite technical. I like the model with the 10 A's. And sample size and model is fine, and I really like the fact that it's already based on existing research by Morrison. Is that true? Did you inherit that model? Did you take that model from Morrison's research, or you somehow relied on that? Or is that already an existing model that you have taken from the research? Yeah, I think it's it says Morrison 2014. So it's a model by research of Morrison, or did you add something from your part?
Can you repeat again?
Yeah, I mean the research model that you are talking, is it based on Morrison's research, or is that just taken from Morrison's research? Okay, maybe it's not clear, but okay. Anyway, I just never mind. I just like that that you have a scientific background for that you rely on existing research for the scientific conceptual model, and 10A look very nice. I mean, it's kind of a creative approach to the conceptual model, so I think it's a very fine one. Well, I don't know if anybody else has something to add, but definitely that would be a very interesting tourism research to look at exceptionally in these times. So if anybody else wants to add something, otherwise I think it was also a very good one. Just with some minor notes on the design. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Let's go to the next one.
Thank you.
Sorry, please wait a moment. Please.
Yeah, no problem. No stress.
Now we can move on to the next one. It's okay.
Thank you so much. The next presentation will be about assessing MICE venues on COVID-19 infection prevention and control guidance by the Ministries of Public Health in Songkhla, please.
Yes. แล้วก็นี่วิว Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for coming today. Today, I would like to talk about assessing my view on COVID-19 infection prevention and control guidance by the Ministry of Public Health in Songkhla. Here is the topic. Introduction is COVID-19 outbreak make accommodation business, restaurant business, and my venue have been heavily affected by the government lockdown measure. In the current situation, the situation had begun to unravel and the government has relaxed lockdown measures that benefit both public and private sector operators, including my industry and in Songkhla province, which is one of the 6 cities of my which has several venue has adopted main control measures in its business so that it can be used for the facility. Next objective research is to accept the my venue in Songkhla in adapting to the infection prevention and control guidance by the Ministry of Public Health. Now we are moving to the new topic literature. The COVID-19 outbreak affects state venue across the country and around the world, including my venue in Songkhla, which were affected by the COVID-19 outbreak. Government and private sector the policy to control the COVID-19 epidemic, as well as measures to help business in various areas has the following control measures by the Ministry of Public Health. 1. Ensure all participants, visitors, and staff wear masks all the time when in operation. 2. Increase the frequency of cleaning and sanitizing service, especially in the area of attack points. 3. Provide hand sanitizer station in every entrance exit and various areas around the event location. 4. Reducing congregation of participants in meeting area by aggravating meeting space at least 1 meter. 5. Register the venue to receive the QR code Thai Chana and prepare to install the QR code. As a result of the above measure, each area will adopt measure to suit its own business. It also helps to reassure the participant. Ms. Janami is going to take to you the next topic. For research model, this study used part of unified theory of comparison with the measure prescribed by the Ministry of Public Health, help prevent the spread of COVID-19. To assess the readiness of my venue in Songkhla in the event of the spread of the plague. The conceptual framework is therefore given at figure 1. Let's go to the next point, methodology. The research used to its qualitative approach will be applied and the questionnaire will be conducted with the target venue. The venue in this research is venue for my venue in Songkhla. The sample size is venue of 5 companies with outstanding results from using control guidance COVID-19 by the Ministry of Public Health in all of the 5 my venue in Songkhla. Next, first, the 60th anniversary of His Majesty the King accession to the Seoul International Convention Center. Next, Conference Center, Faculty of Medicine, Prince of Songkhla University. Next, หาดใหญ่ Hall. Next, บุรีศรีภู Boutique Hotel and Convention Center. And the last one, New Season Square Hotel. Next, result. According to interview with 5 my venue in Songkhla, show that all 5 venues have adopted measures adopted by the Ministry of Public Health to control the COVID-19 epidemic, and the measure import to be applied to the venue in order to maintain control of the COVID-19 epidemic. However, หาดใหญ่ Hall doesn't comply with one of the five measures prescribed by the Ministry of Public Health. Measure to clean the venue at least twice a day, which หาดใหญ่ Hall had done only once in a day, is after the facility is closed. Next, conclusion. This research indicates that the measure prescribed by the Ministry of Public Health help prevent the spread of COVID-19 in my venue in Songkhla. Research has shown that the implementation of the Ministry of Public Health prescribe prevent the COVID-19 outbreak at ensuring that participants and users can be trusted to use in the my venue in Songkhla to be ready to deal with the situation in relation to the epidemic in the future. But researchers have suggested that more than 5 venues in Songkhla should be surveyed in order to be able to see more about the availability of events in Songkhla province. In addition, the venue should continue to strictly adhere to the prescribed measure to prevent future outbreak of the epidemic. This is reference for research. The next topic will be spoken by Toshanipa. This model represents the result of research for my venue that comply with the Ministry of Public Health measure represented by positive symbol, and my venue that do not comply with Ministry of Public Health measure instead of with negative symbol. This is questionnaire to interview for research. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much for that. It's also a very good research in terms of being very up to date today, and I like the design and the outline of the presentation because you used some considerable graphics, which is I think mandatory for the visual design. That's very good. We didn't use a lot of text. That was very good. And I don't know if you heard about that. Recently, I heard the news from Prague, from Czech Republic. They have that special, because we were talking about hotels and venues. They have now a network of hotels that has been transforming its business to become the COVID hotel. It's kind of a reversed model of business, because when the rest of the world is fighting COVID, and everybody that has, let's say, the COVID case, everybody who is infected is somehow an exile. People would not talk to him. People would be like, hey, just stay away from me because you're infected. These guys had introduced a very interesting model of the next generation hotel. That's the COVID hotel, where they actually welcome everybody with COVID. They say, hey guys, if you are infected, you're our client. Please come in. And it's now a hotel that has absolutely no contact between the guests and the staff. So all the management, the reception, and everything is done remotely by video conferencing. So like they keep like at least 10 meters distance between the guest and the reception desk. So everything is done remotely, absolutely without contact. So the room service is organized. The food delivery is organized to the rooms. So they say, okay, guys, we have designed a hotel that is completely suitable for today's environment, and we are focusing on the guys who are not healthy, who has already a confirmed COVID with them, or they have a suspicion to be infected. That's a very good idea. For instance, if you are a tourist and if you are a business person traveling in a foreign country, and if you have a suspicion that you are infected, you have no place to go. Otherwise, well, you can go to a hospital, you can go whatever, but you'll be isolated somehow. You'll need a clinic or something, and that's a good place for self-isolation with comfort. I think they have a 4-star rating or something like that, and definitely they have all those measures with masks and keeping distance. So I think that's one of the good ideas that could be also adopted in a tourist business in Thailand. I was really surprised by this, let's say, unusual model when everybody is fighting the COVID, but those guys have embraced the COVID, and they're trying to benefit from that. They try to earn money on that, and that's very an interesting business model so far. And I think that somehow your model is the research model is also sophisticated. It's also scientific enough. It's very well developed. And I think it's also good that you have mentioned in the end that it would be a nice idea to have more than 5 venues investigated and surveyed, because let's say it's fine that you focus on the 5 that would be the greatest ones, the biggest ones, but the general situation would be probably much more influenced also if you take into account more venues in the next future. So I think that's a good fact that you have mentioned that. So you understand that, and there is definitely a place to work in the future. So I think that's a good work. Thank you very much, guys. Any other?
Thank you.
Completely
thank you.
agree. 5 venues might be a bit limited, but I mean, given the amount of time that you had, you did a very good job in finding the result found. That's really interesting. That's about what's happening in Prague, actually. It's in a sense that it's taking adapting to a whole new level, actually, isn't it? Yeah, I pretty much said what I wanted to say in terms of it being a bit limited, but the fact that you had not that much time to do the study, you did a good job. The fact that you were able to go out and interview these people at these 5 big venues in Songkla is good. It's real good, really good. And yeah, other than that, well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next presentation will be about satisfaction level of exhibition visitors during COVID-19 situation, please. Are you ready?
Yes. Can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me? Hello everyone, the two of us represent the researcher who will present the research today. As you all know, the COVID-19 epidemic has the power of devastating and rapid damage. As a result, the exhibition in the MICE industry will be subject to extended procedures for the exhibition visitors that are more cumbersome to comply with current COVID-19 epidemic prevention measures. Therefore, the research topic that the researcher will present today is satisfaction level of exhibition visitors during COVID-19 situation. For an introduction, the COVID-19 epidemic has affected people all over the world, including Thailand, crossing Thailand to enter the country lockdown process. This hinders business in the exhibition industry because it is necessary to stop activity related to the integration of people in crowded area. But in July 2020, the exhibition had resumed its service, but must be done under control measures. Strict COVID-19 epidemic measure from the above information. The researcher is interested to enter the inspection area to assessing about the satisfaction level of the safety measure within the exhibition of visitor during COVID-19 situation. The objective of this research is to assess the satisfaction level of the exhibition visitor during COVID-19 situation. In the past, COVID-19 outbreak affected exhibition across the country of Thailand, including exhibition in Songkla, which were affected by the COVID-19 outbreak too. Therefore, TCEP asked the organizer to postpone the event instead of canceling, including expediting the standard of exhibition to meet the new normal by introducing a new exhibition management manual to meet the epidemic prevention standard of COVID-19 as follows, which we divide into 2 parts together, that is divide for preventing and best practice in COVID-19 situation. During the exhibition of the COVID-19 epidemic, the organizer, visitor, and exhibitor must take strict measures to prevent the transmission of the COVID-19 virus and device used in the COVID-19 epidemic prevention follow. Number 1, a mask used to help protect the respiratory system and to help protect agent germs that come from the user to prevent pathogen from spreading to others. Number 2, hand washing alcohol gel because the effect of alcohol will disinfection of germs. This therefore commonly used to disinfection of germ the skin. Number 3, Thai China is the registration system that is designed to collect information about assessing the community area for Thai people to use a data analysis system to manage public space use. Number 4, body temperature monitor measurement will help in assessing the body temperature of people preliminary, whether they are at risk of contracting COVID-19. Number 5, before attend the exhibition, everyone must pass a screening point. If the physical exam is complete, everyone will be given a short stick to confirm that they have passed to the scanning.
Next, for best practice in COVID-19 situation follows. 1. Practice for exhibition during COVID-19 situation. The organizer require visitors to strictly comply with the epidemic prevention measure of COVID-19 within the exhibition. Number 2, wearing a mask is one of the preventive measure of respiratory pathogen, so exhibitor, staff, and visitor wear a medical mask or cloth mask. Number 3, social distancing is avoided crowded place and keeping about 2 meters for order. Therefore, the distance between the table and the seat is at least 1 to 2 meters, so it is the best practice to avoid contact. Number 4, determining the amount of attendees to help visitors reduce the risk of contact with others in the event space. Number 5, switch to online payments or credit card to avoid touching the banknotes and hand directly. Number 6, cleaning the surface with a solution alcohol disinfectant because alcohol disinfectant are harsh on living skin. They are ideal for cleaning surface or object to prevent the space of germ. From the aforementioned literature, the conceptual framework is formed as shown in Figure 1 as follows. And the study was part of an inquiry in the satisfaction level of exhibition visitors regarding exhibition measure established to help prevent the spread of COVID-19 and to assess the satisfaction of exhibition visitors during COVID-19 situation, which classified by gender, age, and occupation. In the section of the topic methodology, researcher has used is the quantitative research tool, which is a questionnaire on visitor satisfaction exhibition in Songkhla, where questionnaire are conducted with visitors in OTOP Mahasachan Sri Vichai Band and Summer Better Service Fair. The researcher used a random sampling of 100 people, kg, and Morgan, the theoretical sample for the research due to the season and environmental condition of the COVID-19. Therefore, the researcher has limit of time and exhibition only available in this. From the survey of exhibition visitor, resulting in a result that show in Figure 2 follows. It is found that there are different gender, age, and occupation that assess decision making of visitors when considered from the study of a device for preventing the COVID-19 virus. It is found that the factor affecting the most satisfied in the same direction in the top 3, which consist of a mask, sticker pass, scanning point, and scan QR code Tachana respectively. And in the past of consider from the study of best practice, it is found that the factors affecting the most satisfied in the same direction in the top 3, with staff wearing a mask, visitor wearing a mask, and exhibitor wearing a mask respectively. This research conclusion that the measure for exhibition in the COVID-19 situation is established by the MICE Development Department to help prevent the spread of COVID-19 as the exhibition. For the study into the data storage event as well as the analysis of various factors of the Summer Better Service 2020 and OTOP Mahasachan Sri Vichai Band 2020. Understanding about the satisfaction of visitors in the COVID-19 situation make you know that most of visitors were touched in control and prevention measure, but from such a situation there are many different practices that are difficult to implement, affecting some of the participants. For the reason, some of the visitors became bored during the difficult process and did not want to come to the event. most of which are the elder. The research thinks this information will help the organizer to organize the event more officially in the future. And this will be reference that we being in this research study. Thank you for listen us to presentation this research. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for a very applied research. This is very interesting factor basically that many people would be really dissatisfied with the fact that they have to wear a mask and they have to wear protection and they have to undergo through the certain procedures of sanitizing and things because let's say I've heard that in many countries other than Russia, people just really don't pay attention. They say, okay, I can go without a mask because I don't care. Virus is not for me, it's not my thing. So this is very important because the impression that people are getting from the exhibition or from the event are very much influenced by the physical comfort that they have. And if they feel not comfortable because many people really find it difficult to breathe through the mask and they find it really troublesome to go through this checks and temperature checks and this codes and stickers. This creates a very new experience for the visitors and for the organizers as well, because previously we didn't have to care about that. Now it's a very big deal. We have to comply to the certain rules to ensure safety, and now it takes a lot of time and lots of investments. And that creates, from one side, that creates safety, but from the other side, that creates a lot of discomfort for the visitors, and they get distracted, they get bored, they get tired, and which is most important, they might want to leave the exhibition like 1 or 2 hours before they wanted to, because they feel that they cannot really comfortably breathe through the mask. And that's a very sad thing, because that really affects the overall performance and the number of visitors and the number of contacts as a result that we have. So I think that's a very practical research. That's a very interesting outcomes that you have shown. I think, well, the stickers that you have mentioned, that's a very good idea, because I don't think we ever use the stickers here in public events. So to use the stickers to mark the people who actually have passed the security check is a very good idea. That we didn't introduce this in Russia. I didn't hear about that so far. And one comment that I have to you as well as to the others, just reduce the amount of text in some slides, because it was also there, but never mind. So it's a very practical research, guys. Thank you very much for that. I don't have any other remarks. Maybe some other comments would be from other.
I think you pretty much covered all of it, to be completely honest. Very comprehensive. Yes, very comprehensive. I thought the result that you found were very rich and definitely able to be used in further studies. So well done for that. I mean, we've been over the past, say, 4 or 5 months, we've been apart, like exhibitions have gone on pretty much as normal, but with these restrictions, as they mentioned. And I think it's very interesting that you were able to find the feelings that people, or actually how they feel about going to these exhibitions and having to wear the masks and going through these checks, and the fact that they're getting a bit frustrated and a bit bored by it, and that can definitely be used for further research. So well done, good work.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, very good have an Before we end this session today, we have an to thank all the commentators and all the presenters today. I hope you all enjoy the symposium and have a pleasant evening. Before leave the meeting, please scan QR code to evaluate symposium. รบกวนที่สแกน QR code ด้วยนะคะ ง่ายกว่า
Me too. So thank you to Alexander.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you very much
That was
for joining us.
that was
Thank you very much.
Your input was obviously brilliant, and I'm sure the students will use what the input that you gave them to improve on future presentations and improve on the research that they've already conducted. So we really appreciate that, and we really hope to see you again soon in future virtual conferences. And as Ajahn Nana mentioned before, hopefully we can visit each other soon. You can come visit us at our faculty over here, and we can come visit you over at yours in your home country.
Sure. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you for inviting me. That was a very nice experience. I think for me, from my side, what I found out is the very big and serious output and the input that the students have actually put into the works, into the presentations. I really appreciate that. That was very scientific. I mean, that was quite professionally done. I was pleasantly surprised. Thanks to everybody.
So what happens if you have Ajahn Nana as your as the advisors? Nana, she advised all of them on these proposals, and they're very lucky to have her as an advisor. So I think we should thank Ajahn Nana as well, and everyone. You should thank Alexander, Ajahn Alexander for joining. So thank you, everyone. And we really hope to see you again soon.
Thank you.
Finish. Yeah.
Yeah, I managed this somehow. See you soon.
See you soon. All right. ขอบคุณครับ Thank you. Thank you.